examinations of how to teach and so on. But it worked, and it works until now. And I think it's going on, but we had many problems. The students especially had problems because of the languages. The language, we have different languages, and it was not usual to speak English everywhere. So maybe this is at the moment also maybe a problem in Indonesia. Everybody should speak English in a way that we can communicate, and that all the seminars in the university can be held in English. When I studied, this was not usual at all. And now it's usual more and more, so that students from outside can come to Germany, and maybe they find a university in English. Everything is in English, so it's not a problem. The language is not a problem. Otherwise, you have to learn the language. This is what you know, I think. Yes, I think the idea is really good. And in a global perspective now, this should be done over the whole globe. And I'm not sure if this could be really successful, because there are many difficulties in culture, in languages, and in political systems also. Maybe it could be more difficult with one country than with the other. In Germany, I think we have a very good early childhood education meanwhile. Children start with learning languages, English, for example, or near France, French, with 3 or 4 years. And then the second language is maybe in the primary, and then it's going on. Then we have different schools. When children are 10 years old, they can choose different schools, and it depends on what the parents are choosing, of course. And then we have, I think, what is especially good in Germany is the vocational system. This is something other countries always were very interested in, because they saw that our workers, or the middle certificates, the graduates, are really good in what they are doing. So many countries came to Germany to learn about this vocational system. Yesterday I visited a vocational school, and I saw there real interesting things, what they are doing, and they are very interested in this as well. And we need in future, not only this is a problem in Germany, everybody wants to have a white-collar job, as we say, but you need some people who are in a middle management or in a middle level of graduation. We need those people, and therefore I think this should be also in the view of an education system. But if you go to university, of course, then there are many possibilities to study. For example, I had one assistant. She came from Egypt. Her father was Egyptian, her mother German. So she could speak Arabic, German, and English, what she learned at school, and French. Then she studied in Germany, in Spain, in Madrid, and in France. And she had such a brilliant, excellent qualification that at the end she could work everywhere. She could, wherever she tried to find a job, everywhere. And of course, this is really, these are big chances for young people. If you can manage this, to to educate them in different languages, and then to find possibilities to change one time from one country to the other. Because I think for the future, people who have this possibility to know other cultures, that they have better chances wherever in the world. And the idea with these credit points, this is really good. You know exactly, there is a study program. You have this workload, the students know very well because you can read it in the program, and these are whatever credit points, and you go to the next university, to the next country, and this is accepted, and you can go on. And in principle, this is a real good system, but it was not easy to implement it, and I'm not sure if it's working always really good because of the language. You always have to think about the language, but I think it's a good system. And yes, perhaps you want to ask something. The principle, you understand the principle of this process. It's a long way to become better and better. And meanwhile, there are many. Yeah, of course. There's another point. You have to have something like to be compared an accreditation. So an accreditation means that you show that what you're doing with your study programs, with your teaching, and with your organization, digitalization, that you are in maybe in a level of quality which is comparable to the other university. This is the sense of accreditation. Maybe you wouldn't need it if you are inside your country, but if you want to go out, or you give your young students the possibility to go out, or you invite other students to come to Indonesia to study, then it should be comparable, and therefore you have to say, oh, this is what we are doing, this is our quality level, and this is, therefore, you can believe us, you can trust in us. Accreditation means to trust, and you have a certificate about this. This is the principle of accreditation. And accreditation is in the process a very hard work for everybody. I had accreditation processes for our study programs when I was president of this university. And I know many people have to work very hard, and everybody is very excited if the experts come from outside and test and examine, and then everybody's happy when it's positive. But my impression, to add this, last year it was the first time that I was in Indonesia. Of course, I have read some information and I have seen some films about Indonesia, some documentations in the German TV channels, very interesting. And then if you are there, you have a personal, individual impression, and I was really impressed of this country. To my family, I said, and to my friends, it's totally different from all countries I know. Really. And this is the same this year. And I have spoken with many young people, with lecturers, with professors, and now this time I have met other persons, and I was really impressed of the interest of what you are doing, how you are thinking, and how you are continuing in your process in the university. This is really great, huh? And so this some hours ago, my son asked, "How is it? How are you?" And I told him, "It's like last year. I'm totally impressed of this country. It's great, yeah. Everything what I experienced." This I must say. And I have the impression, because I read also the dates of Indonesia, it's a growing economy. The government has done a lot for the educational system. This I saw in the dates, it's growing as well. So I have the impression that you are on a way to continue to get better and better. And then maybe you have something, you have the values, the ethical values, because of your religion. This is sometimes in Europe different. We are very diverse, and we have many people who don't believe in something, only materialists. For example, we have this problem in Germany. Eastern Germany was a communist system, and they didn't have any religious education during 40 years, and before as well not. And I come from Southwest. In the south of Germany, we are Christians, and in our education system, religious education is guaranteed by our constitution. And this is really different if you come together with people who have nothing like this, who don't believe in anything. And this is a problem in Germany until now, because we have different mentalities. Sometimes I think I'm more close to the French people than to some of these Eastern Germans. It's not so easy to find together, to find a common value system. And I think this is something you have as a big plus. No? Yes.
Yeah. Big applause to Prof. Market Rup. Yeah. Many thanks, Prof. Rup. Yeah. This is inspiring talk on education in Germany, but also in comparison with Switzerland and France, because you mentioned also that you live in the border between France and Switzerland. Then there are also cooperation between these three regions in Europe. And she mentioned also about ECTS, European Credit Transfer System. Maybe also after that, maybe Prof. Zulkifli or Prof. Yusuf Rahman will explain about double degree will in Indonesia, maybe. And yeah, it was hard for European, for example, European students when they are, for example, studying in Germany and then will continue in Netherlands. But after this European credit transfer system, it has been easy, yeah, I think. And then also about accreditation, she will also maybe explain about some accreditation institution, not only FIBA but another accreditation system maybe. And EF, what? FIBA, in other FIBA maybe? FQM. And then about, she mentioned about that it is actually difficult for students when they are planning to transfer from one country to another at the beginning, yeah. but after that they enjoy because they are learning another culture and also with new horizon pertaining to academic life in that country. And I would like also to let you know that our Professor Rup is senior professor, 73 ya, Prof? You are, yeah, 73? 73 years old, maybe? 70, your age. Drei und 70. Drei, yeah. Drei. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But she is like energetic. She is energetic, still energetic, and she is also involved in teaching German for asylum seeker in Germany. So she is senior but with young mentality. Maybe it is even some philosopher in Germany is 100 years old. Which philosopher?
This was Gadamer.
Gadamer. Hans Gadamer is. Hans Gadamer is, yeah. She knew him personally. 102.
My son studied philosophy.
And also, she is a friend of Hans Kung. Hans Kung. Prof. Zainuddin is a fan of Hans Kung.
It was so nice for me to hear that you know Hans Kung. And when I heard this from Mr. Iskander, I said, oh, he was a real good friend. I met him once a month because I worked for a while in the same city, Tübingen. And there he founded this foundation for global ethics. And he wanted to bring these ideas in our schools. And I was that time responsible for the schools in this region. And so we worked together. And then I had the possibility, because he invited me once a month for a lunch and to speak about what we are doing. And to speak with him, it was like an intensive university seminar about religion, different religions and so on. He was a great, great, great man. I'm totally happy that you know him here in Indonesia as well as Gadamer because of this method of hermeneutic.
And Yusuf Rahman is an expert on Hankachadabar.
And Gadamer, he was very, with 102 years, he came to a school where I had a special consulting process, and we invited him. And then he spoke to the students about communication. And my son had the chance, because he had studied philosophy with him, and he had the chance to drive him in the car and so on. And there's a little joke, a little story. After this, we went in Heidelberg in a restaurant. It was evening. And then, of course, the teachers and the principal of the school were with us. And suddenly, Mr. Gadamer said to me, I think these young people are tired. And he had 102 years, and the young people was the principal. Maybe he had 50 years or something like this. It was very funny. But of course, this is a universal thing, a global thing. You come to Indonesia, and suddenly in a university level, you find people who know Hans King, who know Gadamer. So this brings people together in mind. Huh? Yes. It's great. This, for me, it's great.
Maybe other professor would like to say something. Professor.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your inspiring notes. we have many problems
In
regarding
Indonesia, you have problems?
when
We all have problem.
I mean, when we are talking about dual degrees or double degrees, that we are always thinking how to organize or how to manage this program at the level of graduate degrees. And I'm from UIN Jakarta. And we have experiences on doing this program, for instance, with a university in Germany some years ago, and with Deakin University in Australia a few years ago as well. And the problem is the most important problem is about the accreditation or the recognition from actually from outside, from abroad, from Germany or from
To get the
Australia.
accreditation from outside.
Yes, that's because the process of doing this dual degree is very complex actually, because there should be a kind of recognition regarding the curriculum and teaching processes and many other things.
Yes.
And I think with two examples of our degree program, it does not succeed so far. But we have a good example of such a program, but it is not a dual degree or double degree. It is we cooperate with Al-Azhar University in Egypt, and until now, the curriculum contents is recognized by the Al-Azhar University, and we have a faculty, Dirasat Islamiyah wal Arabiyah, or Arabic and Islamic Studies, and the curriculum is adopted from Al-Azhar University, and we organize it in Jakarta in undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, and we carried out in Arabic, and in addition to that, we organize the obligation to memorize of the Quranic memorization, 8 verse berapa surah ya, 8 chapters for every students, and so far it's successful.
Yes.
And now we are initiating such programs, but still in the process with Central Queensland University and
Which university is this?
Central Queensland.
Central,
It's
yeah.
in Australia. But
Australia,
so far,
Australia.
yeah, there is a problem of English languages, and of course its culture, and maybe educational politics from both countries or universities. This should be mutual understanding between
Yes.
both universities, and our governments emphasize the importance of this program on
Yeah.
us as a management for the university. So
Yes.
you are right, language problem, cultural problems,
Yes, of course.
and political problems.
Yeah.
And,
And double degree is really not easy.
Very, very
double degree
difficult.
means you have the degree of the one side and
Yeah.
of the other side. So we have some studies, if they are successful, the graduates have the degree, the German one and the French one.
yeah.
But it was a very long way to this, because I couldn't really imagine, or you cannot imagine, even if we are very close together and we have a long friendship together and we have many cooperations together, but then suddenly the culture is
Yeah.
coming in between because of an examination, le grand concours en français. This is an examination, and if a French, someone in France say le grand concours, it's a must. So for Germans, this is an examination we are not used to, but it is to do. They say you have to do it. Of course, then the students had to do it. They had to learn it, and at the end they were successful, but it needed time. So I think it needs time, especially, for example, when we come together from Indonesia to Germany with this double degree, the cultural differences are bigger than between Germany and France. So it needs time. Maybe you can, I think it should be possible step by step. And there are some interesting connections between Indonesia and Germany. This last week I was at a school, and one of the students asked me if I know Habibi, and I was really, it was a Bildungslücke. I couldn't say anything, and I went home to the hotel immediately in the internet, and then I saw he is really very important for this country. And then I saw he has studied in one of our best technical universities, and he worked there in a very famous company, and then came back. And what he did for the country, as I can say by reading this, I think he's really a great man for you
if
here.
You were from Aachen, maybe.
Aachen, do you have it? Yeah, Aachen, yeah.
You should know him.
Exactly. But maybe this is also a way to come together, that more and more students get a scholarship. The chancellor, our chancellor was here, and he said in Germany that Indonesia is one of the countries to cooperate with, and if this is coming, so I'm sure the programs in education, in university, scholarships will be better than now. And I think many students ask me if they can have scholarships. So of course it's possible, but it will also not be so easy. But what is easy? Therefore I asked, do you have a problem? Sometimes people say, we have no problems, we have only challenges. Yes. And yes, and we have another German philosopher, Karl Popper. Maybe you know him as well. And one of his ideas was, and this is my motto, we have to be optimistic for what we are responsible for. Even when we know the world is going the next minutes, we have to be optimistic, especially in the educational system, because we are responsible for young people, for their future. And therefore, it's great to work for this, I think. This is...
So we should solve this problem.
Yes.
Because we experience historical condition but we have to prepare for the next generation, that they are living for themselves in the future with, they need this double degree or dual degrees.
The first step of accreditation is to prepare it. And therefore you need more time than for all other steps to prepare it within the university and to do to collect all the data you need. And this is, I think, the biggest challenge.
Is there Prof. Yusuf Rahman?
Thank you. I have a question about the accreditation. Our university now is preparing to submit self-evaluation report for international accreditation by ACWIN.
Yes. This is one organization you can, you said a self-evaluation?
Yes. We're preparing about 60 study program.
Yes.
UIN Yogyakarta submitted to FIBA.
Yes.
But UIN Jakarta to ACWIN. The question that I have for the undergraduate program, maybe it is important because after finishing their study in undergraduate level, they can be recognized to continue their study for the graduate level.
Yes.
But the question whether it is also important for the graduate program to be accredited by international accreditation. So what is the benefit? And the second one, we have FIBA, we have AQUIN, we have ASEAN, and all of them are European
Yes.
accreditation institutions.
Right.
I don't know whether the American has that kind of institution, the Australian, because it seemed that all of us submitted to the European
Yes.
institution. So that's my question.
This is, I think this has to be criticized in my view, even if at the moment there is no other possibility. But of course, sometimes I think, if I think about globalization in general, everything has to be equal. Suddenly everybody has to speak English. The study programs has to be equalized in a sense. And what about our culture? For example, I'm a teacher for German language, and I like this language. I read books and our philosophy, and I'm sure that we will lose something of our culture if we are doing like this. And therefore, I think it's not only everything is good what is coming from this only European thinking. Huh? And I don't know, I have no solution for this, but for me it was always very important to make sure that our own culture, our history, our language, our philosophy, that this is not lost because of everything is in English. If we translate, for example, our philosophers like Kant, for example, with his very deep language, in English it's not the same. If you read this, it's not really the same. And this is what I think about this. And I don't know any, it's a fact that we have these accreditation organizations, especially in Europe, because I think the process started there. And maybe it would be interesting to start with building up an own agency. But therefore you need, of course, people who have to learn how to do it. Yes, for the national accreditation, yes, you have. And the agencies also should come together to compare and to see if it's comparable. And you have to struggle for your own culture, I think. Especially if I think the Western ideas and the power always they think they can say how it should work, huh? And all the others have to do what they think. So the Western world was the leader for a long time, and now I think that the world is changing, and you have to be self-confident. The more you are educated, the more people you have who are educated, the more you can be self-confident and say, why should I always do what something else is telling me from wherever? So, but I have no real solution for this problem, because we have it also in Europe. Huh? There was people didn't like this process because they saw our culture we lose our culture. from each country. It was the same. But it has also positive points, of course.
What is the better FIBA and ICOM, especially for graduate school in Indonesia? Gitu. And what is the difference between ICOM? Gitu?
What is better? What is the best accreditation system? I think you can work with each of them. I worked with EFQM, and EFQM, they work in Indonesia not with universities but with companies. And I have very good experience with EFQM because they offered, I had a process, a quality process in an administration department. And there I worked with them because they offered to give trainings for my people. So this was not that expensive, that the whole process being ordered from them. So I sent some of my people, 3 or 4, I think 4 people, to be educated in this EFQM quality management system. And after they had this certificate, they could do it inside in the same way. So our preparation until they came from extern to check it, it was not so expensive. And I found this was a very good offer from them. And FIBA, this is what the director said, is very expensive. Yes. But I tried to find out what are the costs of the different organizations, but they don't give any information because they say, we have to speak with maybe the university, and then they should say what they need, and after this we have to deal about the price and about what they are doing. So you cannot say before what it costs. But I think each of them will work professionally. Each of them will work professionally.
Prof J, Prof Nasir, you want to say something? Prof J? Prof Stakib, Jogja.
Thank you. Yeah, I got your message about criticizing this institution of accreditation, actually. Yeah, and I think what people are trying to do is to make sure that the management in the campuses is right. So to make sure the quality
To make
of the
sure that
the quality of the management in the campus is right, so that the
Yeah.
campuses could produce
Quality of management, yeah.
graduates in a standard, a specific standard. But now, talking back about the the accreditation is, I think, very complex. And when we talk about international accreditation, and then we also think about international standard. Maybe you recognize people who are now here with us here. I actually talk about my condition, my situation. We are not from the same level of university. Like in Jakarta, Jogja, they have better qualities, for example. But from me, from Pontianak, from Papua, we have lower level. So if we talk about international accreditations, things like this, they're too high for us. So I am questioning back about what we need today. What do we really need today? What do we really need about like double degree or what? So, for my case, actually, what we need is to have students. Our students could broaden their knowledge, could experience more academic atmosphere. So, and then that's what we really need to do to provide better academic atmosphere in our campuses. So maybe that one of the keys to make our universities better. So then we question back again, what do we really need to support our universities? Then the government now try to make new policies about curriculum merdeka. The government wants the student can go out there, mingle with international students, have more experience of doing academic things, academic life. I think this is good. Then after that, maybe the student can have more, better capabilities, better knowledge. And then later then comes to support the accreditations. So then which comes first? The students first or the system first? So, well, when we do accreditation, we need to have student, publishing their articles. Students have more activities internationally. Many documents that we need to support the accreditation process. So back to the questions, what do really we need today? So maybe for our university like my university, we need to have more students going out and students coming into my university. So then this we can talk about. For example, maybe we can have cooperation with universities in Germany. Okay, well, we can do some work together. We can do activities together. Some students from Germany come to Pontianak, West Borneo, and then we can do
You can do it online.
projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, although online too.
whatever.
So then we can improve the language, and then of course English is important here. So maybe things like this. I'm trying to criticize myself actually. Thank you.
Yes, I understand very well what you think. Sometimes we are working for things the government wants to have, and everybody is doing a lot of documents, for example, and you have a vision and mission. This morning I said, who knows the vision and mission of the university? Maybe it's in the laptop or somewhere, and nobody knows it. And this is something what happens if you are doing quality management processes. And of course, what you say to improve the university, to have a good atmosphere. For me, this was always very important to have a good atmosphere. When I was a teacher, when I was a principal at a school, when I was in the university, I wanted that people had a good environment, yes. And when always something is coming from outside, it's not really funny for people. And the globalization, I have the impression, things are quicker and quicker and quicker, and new things and new things and new things. And then you have this new social media. We are, sometimes I think there's a lot of rubbish coming in our brain, and we have to go back and to calm, yes, to go down and to calm down. I think this always was my job to do this, to say, please, step by step, and to find a balance exactly between this what you said. No? I agree. Yeah.
So it is very interesting the Professor Yudin question about what we need now to develop our universities especially. So what is it? So I think system is the first, then language is the second, and then cultural understanding is the second. So our system, we know that we want our students to go out from Indonesia to learn something, but the system is so difficult. It means, for example, the funding. We cannot ask the student to go out without any funding if we should
Yes.
support ourselves. So that's nonsense.
Yeah.
And then the second is about language. If you want, for example, our case here, if you want to learn in Australia, in US or Europe, then we need IELTS, we need TOEFL, and it's not easy for Indonesian students to get the level that they need. So it's a problem also for us to send students to put them, even the lecturers. and then cultural understanding. We still have a belief. Western peoples are colonial in the past. Still in our
Yeah, of
mind,
course,
think,
I understand this.
Yeah. So why should we learn their language? Why we should learn their knowledge? There are still many beliefs about this in the grad school. So this become a problem. But I think, as you also see, that we are growing. So we start to have confidence. We have more confidence that we can be equal to the Western people. I think that's something that I can say. Thank you.
Everybody is equal. But I understand, I really understand very well, because my feeling when I studied history and I learned about the colonization from the Europeans, I'm really ashamed, even if it's not my fault personally, but what are people doing against other people? It's really unbelievable. I cannot believe that someone is starting with a war today in this time or whenever. It's terrible what happens. And so I think you shouldn't have this. You should be very self-confident, because it's not your fault. They are the criminals. Yeah. And when we see what are in our museums, in England, for example, they have museums with wonderful things from all over the world. Huh? Elizabeth II was the richest person in the world. And why? Why? No? It's not right. So
You should have her contact as part of the invite as to Pontianak. So this is her second visit to Salatiga. And last time I have a cooperation with her writing chapter.
Prof J from Pontianak. Okay. I think it's enough for this afternoon.
Maybe,
Prof.
at the end of meeting, I hope, Madam, maybe another time, I will invite you to go to my campus
Tulungagung.
in Tulungagung, East Java. Di School of Tulungagung, UIN Syed Ali Rahmatullah. So,
Yeah. Many thanks for your enlightening presentation. Nice talk this afternoon, Prof. Market Rup. And I think that our vice director of his graduate school in Indonesia are enjoying this talk. I see this. Prof. J, Prof. Zul, and Prof. Yusuf Roman, and also Prof. Wahya, and other professor. And we have discussed from education system in Germany, and then Europe, and then accreditation, and then about philosophy, about also global south, global north, decolonization, decentering. It is such a wide theme, what topic, an interesting topic, challenging topic, Prof. Rup. Maybe we have next time another occasion for discussion on many aspects of education in Indonesia and Europe. And I think it is also creating academic atmosphere for our graduate director here, and they will bring back to their own campus, to Pontianak, to Samarinda, to Padang, with their new horizon of how we deal with education from different perspective, because we are now living in global world, but we have still to maintain our unique cultural wisdom, unique cultural heritage. This is such actually such not incongruent, but sometimes in conflict. How to maintain globality, and then how to maintain our cultural uniqueness. And it is our task today for developing our students, for preparing our students for a better future with global mind, but with also rooted in their own culture. I think this is not the summary of our discussion, but it is maybe will inspire another discussion for the next in coil in Parepare, Parepare, Parepare mana? Parepare, Parepare. We will have next year conference in Parepare in Sulawesi. Sulawesi. I think that's all. Many thanks for coming, for your enlightening presentation. Big applause to Prof. Rup. And actually our boss is Professor Ahya, our leader here, Professor Ahya from Tulungagung. Our big boss.
I want to thank you very much. For me, it's really an honor to have this chance to come here and to learn something about your culture and to meet such friendly people. And thank you so much. It is great that you have invited me today.
Fotonya dulu ya.
Di atas kita. Bila kelihatan mata di mana? Di atas. Berdiri di atas. Di atas. Wah, harus naik.
Tidak sah kalau tidak foto. Millennial culture.
Gaya bebas. 1, 2. Gak ada yelnya ya. Ini bisa kok. Muat, semua muat. Kalau pakai 0,5 muat. Lah ya ada yelnya, apa yelnya? Ya, sebentar. Satu.